Welcome to DMOVIE. 11 years ago in Game of Thrones, a new hero emerged on the world's biggest TV show. Confident, vengeful, and utterly charismatic Oberyn Martell.
I will be your champion.
Pedro Pascal played him. From a struggling actor who spent 15 years getting small, forgettable roles in crime shows, he suddenly became a rising star. Since then, Pascal has appeared in the Star Wars universe, starred in the adaptation of The Last of Us, joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and landed roles in major blockbusters. He's become a meme legend and a fan favorite. But how did Pedro Pascal make it to stardom? Why did he play so many villains early in his career? How does his voice bring characters to life? And why do audiences adore him? Let's break it down.
Send a message to all your girlfriends and guy friends on the internet right now who are very happy.
It's all for you.
Jose Pedro Balmaceda Pascal was born in Chile in 1975. His mother, Veronica, was a child psychologist. His father, Jose, a fertility doctor. Soon after his birth, the family emigrated to the US, fleeing Augusto Pinochet's dictatorship. As a child, Pedro loved swimming, but his true passion was cinema. He admired Gene Hackman's performances, looked up to Christian Bale, who became a star early and was so obsessed with Indiana Jones movies that he broke his arm twice trying to replicate the stunts. As he grew older, Pedro studied acting, performed in theater, and started auditioning. But due to Latino stereotypes, he was offered mostly criminal roles.
Interesting, because when I was auditioning and struggling to get a job, I looked like a white kid, and my first name was Pedro. And so that didn't really gel with parts on Law and Order or roles in plays.
At 24, his mother Veronica tragically took her own life. The sudden loss didn't break him. In her honor, he kept her surname, Pascal, and threw himself into work to cope. He thought American audiences might struggle with Pedro and briefly called himself Alexander, but quickly abandoned the idea. His struggle for recognition lasted over 15 years. Pascal worked as a waiter and took small, often forgettable TV roles. In 2011, he finally got his first real break. He played a detective in the TV pilot Wonder Woman, but it never aired. NBC deemed it a flop. Pascal was crushed. Approaching 40, his biggest roles were still fleeting appearances on shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Good Wife, and The Mentalist. In 2014, everything changed.
And what about what I want? Justice for my sister and her children.
If you want justice, you've come to the wrong place.
Game of Thrones showrunner David Benioff was casting Prince Oberyn Martell, a character seeking revenge against the Lannisters for his sister's murder. The actor needed strength, charisma, sex appeal, and the ability to convey depth, recklessness, sensuality, rage, and charm. Pedro Pascal fit all the criteria and added a unique accent inspired by his father's speech.
But no claw, no red eye, no tail between your legs, just a tiny pink cock.
Though Oberyn appeared in only a few episodes, his duel with the Mountain became one of the show's most memorable moments. Fans quickly fell for the complex character, and his brutal death hit them hard. Pascal's first real success came relatively late at 39. Thrilled by the wave of popularity, he happily granted fan requests.
People were super into taking selfies with their thumbs in my eye. And I remember getting a little bit of an eye infection.
In the mid-2000s, he made his big screen debut, but the epic fantasy The Great Wall was criticized for weak storytelling and shallow characters. And the sequel to The Equalizer suffered from secondary cliché antagonists. But Netflix's crime series Narcos was a hit. Pascal portrayed real-life DEA agent Javier Peña, hunting Pablo Escobar. He met Peña in person and trained with DEA agents to prepare for the role. His solitary, work-obsessed character bends his conscience and crosses the law to catch criminals, only to realize the drug trade's machinery is unstoppable.
Son, let me tell you that I've done enough.
Pascal performed not just in English, but in his native Spanish.
Nosotros somos narcos y tenemos honor.
Bernard, eres un hijo de puta que vende veneno por kilos. A la mierda con tu honor.
Bringing humanity and nuance to the tough character. For instance, in one scene, Javier is flooded with adrenaline, but pants heavily and limps after the chase. Clearly not a superhero, but a middle-aged man without a gym routine. In Narcos, Pascal used gestures and facial expressions to convey emotion, but in The Mandalorian, he had to rely solely on his voice. His character, bounty hunter Din Djarin, honors the traditions of his peers and never removes his helmet. Pascal compared Din to a stoic, quiet Clint Eastwood. Mando cares for his small, curious, and innocent ward Grogu. The contrast between their personalities makes their interactions especially touching.
All right, pal. It's time to go.
And much of the show's humor arises from this dynamic. Din often looks amusing in his seriousness.
Don't play with your food.
Due to Pascal's busy schedule, he wasn't always on set. Stunt doubles wore the armor, so actors had to sync voice and physicality seamlessly.
Very often I'll build off of what Brendan's done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much he's studied, my physical movements, but we're definitely in this kind of dance together on it, yeah.
During voice work, Grogu was sometimes replaced by a simple pillow. Pascal played similar roles in the underrated Prospect and in the video game adaptation, The Last of Us.
And I said, well, there's this job offer and or opportunity that it's based actually on a video game. And Bruno and Pedro are my nephew's names, and they're like, what is it? And I was like, it's called The Last of Us! You better get that job!
Pedro Pascal portrayed Yoel, a man hardened by his daughter's death, surviving in a grim, post-apocalyptic world. The creators sought an actor who could be intimidating and cool, yet convey the profound vulnerability of the character's soul. Pascal admitted he's never fought in real life and is terrified by violence. Yet this made playing a character steeped in trauma and darkness all the more fascinating. He conveys Joel's state through body language, heavy steps, clenched fists, and a low, raspy, almost broken voice. Compare his real-life voice.
You and I had already kind of had this first episode where you're so mean to me.
To how it transforms on screen.
No, you take me to her. You take me to her right now! Oh!
Troy Baker, who voiced Joel in the game, noted Pascal brought a vulnerability absent in the original character. This sensitivity seems to define Pedro Pascal as both an actor and a person. For example, Matthew Vaughn, director of the Kingsman franchise, saw both confidence and vulnerability in Pascal upon first meeting him, as if after years of rejection, he expected to be turned down again. Meanwhile, the director of The Materialist praised Pascal's ability to make audiences fall for characters that might feel flat in other actors' hands. His acting style is usually restrained. Instead of overt expression, he conveys subtle emotions through micro-expressions in voice. Yet when needed, he can be funny and highly expressive. Humor particularly captivates him, so it's no surprise he appears in wild comedies or injects humor even into serious projects.
Get up, you lazy ass.
Lazy ass. 56 years old, you little shit.
In recent years, Pedro Pascal has become one of Hollywood's biggest stars.
Because I'm obviously too busy being in every movie, being on every TV show. Basically, so like I own the world. In 2030, how much time do I have?
His charisma, authenticity, and playfulness turn interviews into viral memes. Whether he's eating a sandwich or reading a script, the actor's shy charm, mirrored in his characters, makes him relatable and human.
Do you think you're a heartthrob?
I don't think
He's lying.
Really? That's right. Yes, I am. Yes, I'm a heartthrob. Am I lying? That's the truth. I'm a heartthrob.
Pascal recently turned 50, and he openly admits age affects his physical condition. He sometimes feels anxious in public,
I'm gonna have a panic attack and I'm gonna leave.
managing it by placing a hand on his chest or holding a colleague's hand. His voice may even crack when speaking about family. Before recording this monologue, he was visibly nervous. He was set to appear on a TV show on the anniversary of his mother's death, mentally seeking her guidance to calm his fear.
I was born in Chile, and 9 months later, my parents fled Pinochet and brought me and my sister to the US. They were so brave, and without them, I wouldn't be here in this wonderful country. And I certainly wouldn't be standing here with you all tonight.
Having lost his mom early and with no children of his own, Pascal brings a rare, poignant depth to on-screen fathers willing to do anything for their child's life. It's no wonder fans call him a favorite dad figure. He seems ready to protect the vulnerable, yet his softness carries no threat. Pascal happily plays along with jokes,
Enough already. I'm your daddy.
and in this persona, he seems unrivaled.
Pedro has cornered the market for like the heroic father, reluctant heroic father who you feel very safe with.
His career has spanned over 25 years. While he's conquered TV and streaming, truly breakout film roles were still ahead.
Swimming's easy. I can teach him the way my mom taught me. Swim!
However, 2025 could be Pascal's year. Following the romance The Materialist, the comedic Western Eddington by horror maestro Ari Aster, and a superhero sci-fi Fantastic Four are set to release. Regardless of their success, Pedro Pascal has already become a symbol that dreams, no matter how distant, can come true at any age and transform lives. That's it for today's story. If you love movies as much as we do, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.